Hello everyone and welcome back to another episode of Momentum Monday. Today I have a question for you guys. Are you feeling motivated or maybe unmotivated, which may have caused you to click on this video? That's what we're going to be talking about today. So recently I've been actually feeling very motivated. A lot of the times when you're on the path to your success, like you're not at your destination yet, it can be not very motivating. You're in the trenches. You haven't ticked off any of your boxes yet. You're on the road there, and the road there is hard and it's rough and it's tough and there's obstacles and there's things in your way. But if you kind of understand yourself a little bit better, it makes it a little bit easier to get through. There's different kinds of motivation, different forms of motivation, and these are the 6 ways that most people, 99% of people, are motivated. They're usually opposing to each other, so most people usually fall into one category or the other, but sometimes you can be both, and I'm going to go through those with you today, and hopefully they give you a little bit of help in figuring out what motivates you so that you can keep trudging along your path a little bit more excited. So the first group that I want to put together is motivated towards something or motivated away from something. Usually people are one or the other, and they call this theory the carrot or the stick. I am motivated away from things. I am motivated by the stick. I learned the hard way. I've been through so many situations in my life where people were like, you probably shouldn't do that, and I'm like, it's not a big deal, and then it didn't work out well for me and I learned the hard way. I think it comes from my upbringing. Like when I was younger, if I did anything wrong, my parents grew up very old-fashioned and they raised me that way too. If I did something wrong, you better be certain I was scared to go home because there would be a punishment. I've always been taught to be motivated by a consequence. I've never been taught to be motivated by a reward. Even in school, when I did well on tests and things like that, or I did well on my report card, my parents were always like, good job, that's what you're supposed to do. And if I did bad, then there was a consequence. There was never a reward for doing yeah, no, I don't want to use the word never because I'm sure there was times where I was rewarded, but I can't remember them. So if I want to be self-motivated, we all hear that term all the time. It's on every, job description. Are you self-motivated? To motivate myself to get out of bed, I think, Sidonia, if you don't get out of bed right now, how is it going to look to your boss? If you don't get out of bed right now, you could be fired. If you don't get out of bed right now, then you won't have a paycheck at the end of the week. Or if you do have a paycheck at the end of the week, it will be 1 day's less money because you didn't get your ass out of bed. So, and that gets me up and at 'em right away. So if you understand how you're motivated, you can kind of talk yourself into situations using your motivation. So I always talk to myself in being motivated away from. If you don't do this, this is what's going to happen. If you do this, this will be the consequence. And that really helps to motivate me. So if you understand that, you can move forward really, really well. The next 2 forms of motivation that go together comes with how you kind of show what you have on your way to success, or how you kind of exhibit your success to people. So people are mostly either internally motivated or externally motivated. Externally motivated person, they pride themselves in how they look to others externally. When you look at them, you can see their success. And this doesn't mean that they are successful by any means. There's a lot of very, 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 very poor people that are externally motivated. I remember growing up in school that all the popular kids were like very externally motivated. They cared so much about the clothes that they wore, the shoes that they wore, things like that. And I just never cared about that stuff. So a prime example of an externally motivated person would probably be Kylie Jenner is obviously an externally motivated person. She feels the need to exhibit her wealth and exhibit the things that she has to prove her success. She has a ton of cars, she has a ton of houses, she posted on Instagram the other day a photo of her purse closet. Like, she has a closet dedicated to only her purses. And then there's somebody like Mark Zuckerberg, for example, way more wealthy than Kylie Jenner, one of the wealthiest people on the planet, but does not flaunt his wealth, does not exhibit his wealth to others. He's internally motivated. I know one of my really good friends, he owns a business and he's super externally motivated, and anytime he has a big project or anything that he has to go to, he's like, I'm not allowed to get that new car, or I'm not allowed to get that new shoe, or I'm not allowed to get that new jacket until I hit this goal, and when I hit this goal, I'm going to reward myself with that treat. Me, on the other hand, I'm very internally motivated. Once I achieve that goal, like, just achieving the goal in itself is enough for me. So I'm not externally motivated at all. I'm very much internally motivated. You see, I sit here like not dolled up at all on these videos. Like, I care so much more about the content of what's in these videos than how it looks. I've been doing YouTube on my music channel for 8 years, on this channel for over 2 years, and I still haven't bought like fancy equipment and like fancy editing software and fancy lighting and fancy cameras, because I don't care about that stuff. I'm not externally, I don't care about how the video looks, I care about what I'm saying in the video. So once you recognize that about yourself, you can again give yourself your own goals and give yourself your own motivations to keep yourself going. And the last two that can either go together or be separate is, some people are motivated by possibility and others are motivated by necessity. Now, I used to think that I was motivated by possibility, because I always thought, like, wouldn't it be like, I've always been a dreamer. I've always dreamt very big, large ideas, such large hopes and dreams, and just the possibility of being able to achieve those things has always excited me. But I realize that I'm also very motivated by necessity. When it comes to spending money and things like that, I don't spend money on things unless I need to. I also don't make decisions or don't feel pressured to move forward on things unless it becomes a necessity. And I realized that I'm kind of motivated by both. In the long term, I definitely am motivated by possibility, but in the short term, I am motivated by necessity. That one is kind of, you can go both ways. But if you know what you're motivated by and you understand yourself, then you can do a really good job in being self-motivated, because you can give yourself ultimatums and give yourself little kicks in the butt in the right way to help you keep moving forward and help you get closer to your goals. So that's it for this week's episode of Momentum Monday. I hope you guys did like that. I hope you found it very helpful. If you did, make sure to give it a thumbs up. You guys can follow me on my social media. It's appearing on the screen right here. So follow me there. It's at Sidonia Daniela everywhere, across all platforms. Make sure to subscribe so you can see more videos like this from me, and hit that bell notification to be able to see when I upload. There's so many people on YouTube now making new accounts every single day. There's more stuff to watch, so don't get lost in the sauce. Click the bell to make sure that you know when I upload, and I will see you guys all next week with another video. Bye!